Welcome back to the fiercely devilish curry devil or curry debal. You have various ways of labeling this fierce curry, and here you have a lot of red chili. Um, we have to bear in mind there's about 3 kg of ingredients that will go into the cooking, and therefore, proportionately, we have increased the number of chili that we would be roasting first and then placing in boiling hot water to soften it before sending them into the blender. And here, the ingredients for blending, I have lemongrass, which I have cut again to ease the blending process. This is ginger. These are shallots. This is diced turmeric. Adds better flavor in its fresh form rather than using the powdered form. Feel free to use the powdered version if you do not have access to a fresh turmeric. And here we have galangal, blue ginger, chili padi to add heat into the gravy, and this just for natural color. And now we start the real cooking of devil's curry. The oil is heating up. Time to add in a tablespoon of mustard seeds. And when they splutter, we add in the ginger. So the mustard seeds are beginning to splutter. Time to add in the ginger. Infusion of aromatics. Make sure not to burn the ginger or the mustard seeds. Cooking devil's curry is actually easy once you've got all your ingredients ready. And now it's time to send in the onions. Turn the flame to high for a bit and gently put them in and stir them until they wilt. I've just turned up the flame, and it's time for me to add in the rampa, the lovely fiery gravy paste, the gravy paste that's responsible for the fantastic devil's curry we all love. Look at that. There's more of it coming in. Whoa. Just look at that. My daughter patiently ground all this into a nice, colorful, fantastic paste that can be enjoyed tomorrow. And now comes the hard part. Cooking this until done. Making sure it doesn't stick to the bottom. Making sure it doesn't burn until the oil separates. It's the most painful part of the whole process. We've improvised on last year's devil's curry that we had featured by adding in the long red chilies for natural coloring. They do not add much as far as the spice or the heat is concerned. Gosh, this was the most tiring part of the entire devil's curry, cooking the rampa paste. This was not done just by myself. I had to request my older daughter, my younger daughter, my older son. Oh my God, and now it's done. 1 hour of doing this to ensure that turning the ladle to ensure that nothing gets burnt and the oil is released. So now it's time to add in the spare ribs, the lovely, luscious, succulent spare ribs. So we're now going to add the stock, which is going to be just about enough to cover this. We also have some pork belly, but we will add that later. So we're going to infuse the pork broth into this paste. I'm going to pour that in because we need some water that covers just about the bones. Because devil's curry is not a liquid gravy as such. It is generally more thick in consistency. So this is some stock liquid that we use to clean up the blender and the utensil that contain the paste, so that nothing of the precious paste is wasted. We're going to add that into the wok. That's the heavenly broth we're going to add right into the wok. And as you can see, the stock liquid prepared barely covers the bones. Now, as you cook, if you find that the gravy is drying up, feel free to add a little bit of water from time to time carefully, but it should never be liquidy. And this is the lovely luncheon meat. We'll be cutting into bite sizes, though not too small. Again, improvising on last year, so we get good sized. You can also choose to fry this and add it, but that would be really unhealthy. So what else will we be adding into the devil's curry? Like I've discussed before, we're going to add pork belly. Okay, that has to have lots of fat if you want the real devil's curry. That's what I learned in Malacca. Okay, so here you have luncheon meat, and next to it is the pork cocktail sausages. The luncheon meat is also pork. Okay, the pork cocktail sausages. To the right is leg ham, and streaky bacon just below it. So we're going to add all of these, some potatoes and carrots, and we're done. And in goes the delicious layered pork belly. Layered, I repeat. So I'm going to stir this in. A few carrots here I'll be adding into the wok. You can also choose to add cabbages, pickled vegetable, pickled in vinegar, and cucumber. I'm going to add the pork cocktail sausages. Look at all that happening, so beautiful, so colorful actually, right? So red and colorful. So now some potatoes, overflowing at its seams. So the oil that you see here, you could use an oil absorbing paper to soak it up at the end of your cooking. Yeah, so you don't have all the unhealthy oil that you require for cooking. You could soak out as much as you can using an oil absorbing paper that's available. And streaky bacon. For those who are health conscious, obviously they have to watch and possibly eat only the meat and not the spam and all the other goodies that have been added. I'm just going to add some of these. I mean, they look so beautiful, don't they? Welcome back once again to Dad Cooks, and this is the last part that I forgot to mention. We had to add vinegar. Without that soury tanginess, devil's curry or curry debal is incomplete. So we've added that, and as you know, the gravy has now thickened up. It's no more in its liquid form. The thickness is at the right consistency. And one last thing you got to check for is salt. So we just did a salt taste test to make sure that it's right. The other key note when you cook devil's curry is it has to be done on low flame with constant stirring. So I guess that's the painful part, making sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom, doesn't burn up, because the ingredients are not cheap. The whole process in terms of time, effort and ingredients is expensive. So cook it on low flame, add a little bit of water when needed, and keep stirring the pot to prevent it sticking to the bottom. Signing out, and have a lovely Christmas everyone. Have a blessed Christmas everyone. Dad Cooks signing out.